Hey everyone, Nathan Hayes here, IDOC Practice Finance Consultant, and question of the week. Two quick ones. One, what are the changes to the PPP? Many of you will know. We want to go on the record with those answers. And two, what about the EIDL loan? Should I still get it? Should I not? And I have some thoughts on that. So first off, PPP had an amendment from Congress. Blessedly, it was only 3 pages long. You can go read it yourself. And they changed 3 things about the Paycheck Protection Program. Number one, you no longer have to pay out the funds in 8 weeks. You now have 24 weeks to pay out, which is great. For those of you, especially in the Northeast, who are still kind of in the reopening phase, many of the rest of the country are open, but if you're in the Northeast, you have some more time. So that's good news. Number 2, they lowered the threshold on what you need to spend on payroll expenses from 75% of the loan amount to 60% of the loan amount. So you have some more flexibility there as well. And the third thing they did was they added on to those exceptions that have been creeping in on, well, what if my employees won't come back to work? What if someone resigns voluntarily? What if I fire someone for cause and I can't find someone to work for me? They added on a provision that if you're short people, you can just attest that I can't find someone. So many of you are, say, looking for an optician right now and finding that they're all taken and I can't find a new optician to replace my old one. So you now have cover there. It won't count against your forgiveness in terms of managing FTEs. And the last change they made, I might have said the last one was the last one, but the last change they made was you now have until the end of the year to restore your FTEs or wages if you had cut to wages or cuts to your full-time equivalent staff. So not only do you have more exceptions in terms of I just can't find someone to do the job I need in the labor market, and if you can attest that and document that, then you're covered even if you can't get back to your FTEs. But if you want to get back to your FTEs, you have till the end of the year and still be eligible for full forgiveness. So some good news there, and some flexibility, and that's appreciated. Last thing, a lot of you are still asking about EIDL, and my thinking is moving on this somewhat, so I just want to kind of lay out what's going on. The SBA is giving disaster loans in the order of $150,000 on a 30-year term with 3.75% interest. So a good loan. I mean, that's basically my mortgage. And it's working capital, so you can't use it to move. You can't use it for equipment costs, build outs. But for funding payroll, once you're out of PPP, or if your PPP money is exhausted, for catching up on your lab bill, credit cards, all that stuff, you can use it. So people are asking me, should I get it? At first, my thinking was, yes, absolutely, get the cash. We don't know how long this is going on. I think you're gonna have to make your own assessments at this point about what the future looks like. I still think that if you think that we're gonna have a resurgence in the fall and we're gonna shut down again, I think it's a good idea to get it. Now, on the EIDL loans that are coming out, you do have no payments for 12 months, but you do have interest for the first 12 months. So that's going to run you, if you take it and don't make payments for the first 12 months, you're going to have $5,600 worth of interest cost tied to that loan that you may not want to pay out. Again, I think it's better to have the capital than not. If you think we're going to have a resurgence, I'd probably rather you get a line of credit so you have the access if you need it, but it's you're not paying interest on it. So there's that. The other caveat on it is, and I'm not clear on this, and people are asking, there's a provision in there that you cannot make distributions of the assets of the practice while you have an EIDL loan out, which the cash in your practice is an asset. So which means that you can pay a salary to yourself while you have EIDL, you can't take distributions. So depending on what your income needs are from the business as it recovers and where your salary is, you might be inhibited. Now, my original readings of that was that it was just that you can't use the loan to pay distributions, which makes sense to me. But talk to your CPA on that one. If you can't take distributions and you're taking a lower salary, or even if you're taking a fair market salary, $125,000, $150,000 a year, and you still need to be close to $225,000 for your lifestyle and your family's needs, EIDL might not be the right vehicle for you if those restrictions are true. You basically have to ask permission to make distributions. So those are the quick updates. PPP, much more flexible, some clarity, ease of use, I think will help a lot of doctors out. EIDL, it's good to have. I'm, at this moment, a little more optimistic, but you need to make your own assessments of the risk. If you're really worried about the future, or if you're in the Northeast where you're really not open yet, you may really could use that money to fund operations as you reopen. If you're somewhere that is back to 80, 85, 90% of patient volume and it looks like things are recovered and the disease is not going to come back in force, you may decide to pass on it. So that's the question of the week. Nathan Hayes here with IDOC. Thank you so much.